Hi everyone, Danielle here. Today I want to just give you a quick run through of how InventoryLab works. I'm not going to be doing a shipment walkthrough with you, Stacy's going to do that, but I just want to show you all the other aspects. Right now you're looking at the dashboard. This is what you see normally when you first log in, unless you change your preferences. This is your monthly sales report. It shows you if you're profitable, which you see the purple bars there. That shows the amount of profit I made each week this month. And over on the pie graph, it shows you what your biggest expenses are. In general, your biggest expenses are going to be your Amazon fees. And then you show inbound shipping. We had a little less inbound shipping this month because we had some car problems, so we have boxes stacked and ready to go out the second we get our car back. And then you see cost of goods, and then other expenses would be ones that you enter manually. Now, you can come up here, and the first tab you have is Research. Scout is where you can go in, and you can type in a item here, like you can look at brands. This is what you would get an idea for products that you're listing. If you wanted to see if something would be a good buy before you buy it, this is how InventoryLab works. You will pull up your item. I just typed in a brand name, but you would see the rank here. It tells you how many people have offers there. If you click on this blue link, it takes you right to the Amazon page. If you click select, it pulls you into that item area. This is what you see when you open your item. You have your rank and your category, size, tier, etc. all right here. Down here are your fees from Amazon. You know, your commissions, they divide their fees up that way. Okay, then if you look down here, you have your expenses, your shipping. I set my rate at 50 cents a pound. That's normally higher than what I pay, but I would rather be higher. And then sales tax. Because we personally travel, we pay different sales taxes on when we buy our items. So I set it at about 9%. That's about the highest sales tax that we've seen. So over here, you have what this item is selling for. Okay, these are the new items. These are new merchant fulfilled items. These are your used items. And then over here, you have your FBA sellers. You can see that these prices right here have an O next to it. The O means that they own the buy box. So this price is what is showing in the buy box. And you can see these two sellers are sharing it. Now, when you see an item over here that has an A next to it, that means that Amazon owns that item. And that's the Amazon price. When you see an O and an A together, that means that Amazon owns that item and they also own the buy box on the item. So I like this because it tells you a bit more information than the regular Amazon app will. Now you come down here and it has more research. You can click on Book Scouter, which is good for books, to get more information. You can see if the item's on eBay, what it's going for. You can do a Google search with that item. And then you have the three that I mainly use. This one is Camel, Camel, Camel. You can click on it, and it will pull up that item in Camel, Camel, Camel. And the good thing to use this one for is seeing prices. What has been the lowest price? What has been the highest price? If Amazon's come in, when was the last time Amazon had that item in stock? Different things like that. It's always good to just have a roundabout information on. Next is Keep Up. This one will give you a lot of the same information as Camel, 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 but I like this one just a little bit differently because you can see sales ranks on most items. This one, I'm going to have to pull up a different one to show you. But this one does not have the sales rank. This one just has price. So I will pull up another one to give you an idea. And then this one here is the page on Amazon that you can pull up. Now here is where you enter your price per item. Now I don't actually have this item in my stock, but let's say I picked it up for $10. This is the price that it lists for, and it tells you this is your profit. You can then see your ROI is 81%. Anything 100% or better is always good in my book. Now, you can click back over here on Scout, and it will pull you back to your previous search. Okay, I found one that has a good Keepa chart. This is just regular mason jars, and you can see the information. It's a good ranking kitchen, and all the information here. These don't have an FBA seller. We can go more into all that later, but, if you were to pick these up for, $15 or less, it would be a decent profit. So when you click on the Keepa chart, this comes up. Okay, and you see this sales rank here, you actually need to select it so it shows up. And I'm going to unselect merchant so that you can see the sales rank here. This is what a sales rank will look like. Now, every time that there is a fall in the chart, where this sales rank goes from 23,000 there down to 17,000, that means there was a sale. The closer to the number 1 that you are in the sales rank, the more sales that you have. So every time you see a dip in this chart, that means there was a sale. And this was on the 23rd. So then again on the 23rd, there was another sale. And dropped it down to 13,000 rank. And then it went a little bit without sales. And then there was several more sales. So this is a good way to take a look at how often a product might be selling. Now, when you see it drop like this, and it goes a couple days at the same rank, generally, especially on a product that will have a sales rank of 2,700, like that one is right there, that means that that is selling enough to hold that sales rank. So it's probably selling quite a few a day before it took another break and jumped back up again. So this just gives you a good idea of products, how often they would sell, if it would be a good buy. Some competitive categories, you might not see what you would consider a great sales rank, but then you come into the Keepa chart and realize that you're selling one every other day or so, so then it still might be worth it to pick it up. Always check your Keepa chart. Now, the next tab that we have is this List tab. This is where you are going to be listing your stuff. And Stacy will walk you through this one. As you can see, I currently have a listing going right now for some other stuff. But this is where all that will happen. Over here you have your inventory. All my stuff is listed as FBA, but you will have FBA and merchant fulfilled items there. And you will see the item here, the ASN, your MSQ, whether it's active, how many you have, your list price, what you paid for the item, your total buy cost. You can put in where you bought it from, the date that it was purchased, etc. And it will tell you down at the bottom how many total items you have in stock, how many SKUs you have in stock, the total in stock buy cost, and what your total in stock profit will be. Okay, and then next is accounting. This will be your sales. This keeps track of your sales, whether you made a profit on that item. I recently had a few products that were hitting that 6-month or 6-month storage point where I could start to be given fees, so I dropped the price on them. And as you can see, 59 cents and 91 cents is better than paying on that item. So then you have your merchant sales, which as you can see, I don't have any, but those would be listed there. This is your refunds that you have, and everybody is going to have refunds at some point along your career. Refunds are not fun, but most cases they're sellable, as you can see, and sent back into inventory. A lot of times it's something like when you send in a piece of clothing, the clothing doesn't fit, or sometimes they just change their mind, or they find it at a better price someplace else and they send it back in, and that happens, you know, you get a couple refunds a month, and that's completely okay. Reimbursements, this is a section where if Amazon reimburses you for something, you'll see it here. Usually this is stuff that gets damaged in the warehouse. They will refund you for the item. Other income, this is where you can put in if you have any other income. This is just whatever, you know, you end up using it for. Here it keeps track of your inbound shipping. This is where you can put in your shipping, what you pay for each batch after you close it in InventoryLab, and then it helps you keep track of your shipping costs and expenses. You can keep track of mileage in here. As you can see, I need to go in and update my mileage. I have an app that I use on my phone that helps me with that. If you give me just a second, I will tell you the name of it. It is called Mile IQ, which is an app that I do pay for to help me keep track of my miles. And then over here is your other expenses. If you wish to add in certain expenses, if you wish to, you know, keep track of other things, it's all here. And this is also stuff they pull from your Amazon account, inventory placement fees, etc. So that is your accounting. Next you have your reports. You have supplier profitability. You can keep track of where you shop and which one, you know, gets you the most profit, where you find the best items at, which ones you're not making money at, so you know which ones to avoid. You can pull up your category profitability and see what categories you sell best in, what categories are making you the most money, what categories you're not making money in. You can pull it up by SKU and see which individual products are best for you. You can pull it up by ASN, which is the Amazon SKU. To me, I think these reports are, the SKU and the ASN are pretty much the same report. You can pull up an inventory evaluation, which pulls up how many you have on hand, outbound, you know, etc. as far as these items and costs and values. You have your sales tax reports. Once you get your sales tax set up in InventoryLab, if you choose to use InventoryLab for that, and then you can pull up a profit and loss statement here. You have your help section with all your different things here as well. And then you can pull up your account, your contact information, your employees, if you have any password, your billing plan, and then this is how you connect to Amazon itself. And then you have your settings over here. You have your shipping information, which is where you ship from. You have, you know, you have your supplier lists, which is where the stores that you would search from. They put some in for you because I see stores in here I've never been to before. You have your expense categories if you want to expense your categories out. Your income categories if you have income from other places you're keeping track of. Default condition notes, notification settings, and then you have your advanced settings of, you know, what you want to, when you're doing, this one helps when you're doing a shipment, what you want to keep from your last entry, you know, your default. So if you enter, like for me, I like to keep the date purchased and a supplier the same, so that I don't have to enter it in every item, because I will pick up multiple items from the same place at the same time, so that saves me an extra step, etc. And you have your entry point where you want to, when you sign in, where you want to be taken to. I like to be taken to my dashboard. Others prefer to go right to the listing option, so that's up to you. You have your auto price rule. For the love of anything, for the love of bacon, please do not select an auto price option. You have the highest risk of losing money. Do not set it to go a penny below the lowest price. You need to actively be watching your listings. It's okay if you don't have the buy box every second of the day. You will still make money. Trust me. Putting the auto price on will cause you to lose money. There are people that I know that have realized someone has a buy box, has an auto price to grab the buy box, and will run them down to pennies and then jump back up and sell their item. There are people that do that. Auto pricers are just not a good idea. I'm actually going to write a post on it later on, so keep that in mind and keep a lookout for it as why I hate auto pricers and why it's not a good idea for your business. But that is the gist of it. You will lose money because you don't know when someone goes below your price of what you paid, and it's just so much easier to just go in, and I will show you on the account setup how easy it is to go in and see your prices every day. Just go in and just glance at them. It takes me 15 minutes. And now that rant's over, this is your print setup for InventoryLab. I run a Dynamo printer. You select your printer and your label type, and as you enter the items and you have your Dynamo hooked up, it will print the label directly for you, and you can put the label on right then and there, as opposed to when you're putting items in through Amazon and you have to print the labels all at once and then resort everything. It's a huge time saver to use InventoryLab with a Dynamo. My biggest love doing a must-have item is my Dynamo with InventoryLab. And I think that's about it. Like I said, keep a lookout for Stacy's post on how to do an actual shipment inside InventoryLab, and take a look below the video, and I will have the links to the post with even more tips on InventoryLab. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you.